another video. Obviously in the mood for making a lot of content today. Um, this is an app that I've been using a lot recently called Figma, and I just wanted to like talk about it because I've been making some videos on like tools, software tools that I'm using currently. So if anyone knows like Sketch, I was always using the Sketch before. I've now actually made the move across to Figma completely, and I sort of love it. So it did take like a little while getting used to. I'm not like because their interface is like really similar. Um, and but like it did take a little while to get used to. Luckily, you can just directly import your sketch files into Figma, and it like processes it all. It keeps all of your different layers or like artboards, like whatever you want to call them, all the same. Um, and the reason that I like it so much, there's a few reasons. Number one, like they have a lot of like integrations and plugins. Like I think it's like a lot more active in terms of like plugin development than Sketches, which is quite interesting. But the main thing that I like about it, there's two main things. One is that you can have real-time on this as well. So unlike Sketch, Figma is cloud-based, so everything is saved like in the cloud. It's a SaaS platform. Um, and it means that I can invite someone to come and collaborate on this in real time. So this is what you actually saw me designing the previous MVP on that I was building with Frank. So Frank was working as a developer, so he was able to, without me needing to upload sketch files in Zeppelin, and then we need like version controlling. If I make like a little change, I need to re-upload it to make sure that he has access to it. This just simplifies that flow, and it does it really well because Frank can just, or like any developer, like, or even like another designer can just collaborate on something with you in real time and give you real time feedback, and work on designs with you at the same time, which just makes things like a million times easier, particularly as like we're moving more towards a remote style of working in general in the world. Like I've been working remotely for about 4 or 5 years now, so I'm now quite used to it. But there weren't always like tools that offered collaboration like this, and now that remote working is becoming, a lot more people are remote working, to see things like this coming available. I guess it just took a little while for the technology to catch up, but we're seeing a lot more apps that offer like real-time collaboration and things like that, which is really interesting. And going back to like Zeppelin as well, anyone who's into like design, like Zeppelin is a tool where you basically upload your design from Sketch into Zeppelin, and it's then going to generate CSS code for you, which just makes it a lot easier for your developers. They don't need to write everything from scratch. They can just copy and paste a lot of the code. It's been done for them. Figma has the exact same thing, but it's built in, and they also like support. I'm pretty sure they support SCSS, but anyway, like a developer can literally just come over here, copy this, and on any like element they select, and paste it over into their code. Like they're going to need to play around with the titles, but that's the same with anything. So this has it like built in, and like I said, so I can literally come up with designs in real time, and the developer can then copy the code and like just mess around with the front end. But this can all be done in like real time collaboration, which is like I don't think you can really ask for a better way to collaborate between designers and developers, which is great. Um, Another thing that is, I don't actually use it personally. However, myself and a friend of mine, we were working on building as like a side project a dating app, where you would, rather than going on actual like dates like Tinder, you would go on like events. Um, like let's just say with like we know quite a lot of like rich entrepreneurs, people who sold their companies and so on, and they just wanted to post things like events, saying like I'm going here, and like girls could then swipe and say like I want to come, or it could be done like vice versa. A girl could say like I'm going here, and a guy can swipe saying I want to come. So it was just designed to like optimize the dating process rather than needing a lot of talking and going back and forward. You would just swipe on dates, and then immediately you had something to do. But we never actually like released it. It may be something we do in future just for fun. But if you download the Figma app on your phone, it will, based on your designs, this is an amazing feature. It will make something, it will make, you can view it in real time on your phone as if it was an app. So it's actually like interactive. So you can build out flows, you can press buttons, and it will take you on to the next page and so on. So without writing any code, a designer can get a full experience of building an iOS application without ever needing to do anything, and that I thought was just incredible. Like Figma has like a really loyal user base. There's people from like Facebook who are recommending it, Twitter. Like if you go on their website, you'll see the type of companies that are using it as a tool, and they get some really good feedback. But yeah, and now I sort of understand why. Like even now, I've just done generate a prototype, and it's shown me what this is actually going to look like as a website. And yeah, so this would be how it looks in HTML. So I can get all of like my proportions right. I can make sure everything that I like, the sizes of everything and so on. Whereas like Sketch just really didn't have this. I'm still like a massive fan of Sketch. I do like it a lot, and it's not that it's a bad tool whatsoever. It's still a really good tool, really, really powerful. And that, like, in terms of the dashboards, maybe I even prefer Sketch. However, Figma just has brought like the innovation to the table, like these features that just aren't available within Sketch, and that's why like, I've made the move across. So if you are into design, like I hope that you have heard of Figma, and I hope that like you just give it a try, like making the move. Perhaps like it doesn't quite fit your workflow and it's not quite as good for you as for me, but I generally think this is a fantastic tool that every like designer should at least like give it a go, playing around with it. If you have actually watched this far into the video, I can just show you like some behind the scenes things that I've been working on with like design. So if you are interested in design, that is. So here, I've just been playing around with changing like our user interface. So I've been doing a lot of like user interface design. And this is a new feature that will actually be within Notifier, where you can make your own audience. So based on certain parameters, like has the user visited twice, we can automatically enroll them into this audience, and then we could choose just to show notifications to people within that audience, like, hey, welcome back, here's 25% off your next order. And this is something else that I've been doing. So for user experience, one big problem that I noticed that I have within Notifier is once the user's onboarding, it doesn't really seem like anything's happening. There is stuff happening, but we've done a very bad job of displaying that back to the user, showing them that Notifier is functioning and that things are working. So I've been working on sort of improving that. So now we've released like quite a lightweight analytics, but it sort of does the job, and we're working on releasing like more analytics for each individual widget. But I'm just going to give you a quick example. There we go. So now, okay, let me give you a proper. So now we can see like how many impressions, how many clicks, how many times it's been closed, number of conversions, and so on. So this is just like, again, going back to what I was saying in another video, actually. The first time experience is like super important with software as a service. You know, you need to make sure that the visitor is having like a memorable experience, that they're seeing success. If we get into the psychology of it, really, we want to try and release like dopamine within the user's mind. So there are a number of different ways that you can try and like release dopamine. There are things like doing checklists. That way the user feels that they've accomplished something. But you have to be really like clever about this. If your onboarding is really hard and they're not able to complete the checklist, they're not going to feel that they've had a good experience, and they're going to like leave your application. So you want to make it like as easy as possible for sorry, it's getting late, for the user to get started, so then they feel that they've accomplished something, and you want to like show off success, that they've done something right. So I've like pushed this like all in green to make it like quite obvious that it's like a good thing, something's happening. If anything, there might be a little bit too much green. Um, and so now like this will update. I wouldn't actually mind if this was in real time. It would be quite it would actually be too much going on. But anyway, so I've now like released this, and something else that I'm building, which was the design that we were looking at, is as soon as the user installs their script, I want to direct them onto this page, and they will see like in real time like website visitors who are coming onto their website. So automatically I can get their website visitors location by their IP address. That's very easy for me to do. Um, and the customer of Notifier, I will actually be able to identify who that is just by their IP address. So I can actually print their first name, their email, and their company. So they will actually see themselves here with all their personal information, which is like, I'm going to test it. It could be quite interesting, or it could be quite scary to a user. So we'll have to see what the response is. But and then it just sort of shows what Notifier is capable of. We're able to identify who's looking at your website. And they're going to see this happening in real time. They're going to see that Notifier is tracking people, and that something's happening. So I hope that that's going to give like a good first positive experience to the user. Then we also have this. Sorry, I keep yawning because it's getting late. I'm just working on doing this. So if we're actually able to identify people visiting your website by their IP address. I can also do it via cookies, and there's also a number of other like third-party tools that I can like integrate, plugins that I can use to identify who's looking at your website. So for you, it would just be an anonymous visitor. Like you would have never seen this visitor before, but I would be able to tell you who that person is based on data that we have. So an extension that I'm looking at adding into Notifier is, you would see here like reveal name, reveal email, reveal company, and this means that based on this visitor's IP address, I have data and I can tell you who that person is. So for like B2B companies, this is like really interesting. If it's an anonymous visitor that hasn't taken action, and I'm then able to give you the email address of that person, you would like, if you hovered over, you would then see this where it would say like reveal profile, and you can click to reveal, and then you could buy like credit. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it exactly, but you would be able to go through some step in order to like, I don't know what the cost would be, but you would be able to reveal who's looking at your website, and then you could build like automations on top of this, like sending webhooks whenever a new visitor is identified, like something like that. Which means that you could make some really interesting automations. Like there does then come like an element of like GDPR compliance. So I can definitely offer this within the US, and then there becomes a limit on like, can I give your email, or can I just tell you it's this person looking at the website? Or even just adding a layer of personalization within your website, so I'm not actually giving the data to you. There's like a whole like legal side of things. I won't get into all of the details now, but anyway, like you'll be able to go through all the different pages and see all the people, and then you can also make. Sorry, I'm getting tired. You could also make like filtering system. So I haven't. Oh yeah, sorry. So these are some examples of like plugins that I've made. So enrich anonymous companies, enrich anonymous visitors, enrich customers by email, sync to Facebook audience, sync to Google Ads, sync to Zapier, sync to Webhook, and so on. So you could also have like a Zapier integration, and if a customer's payment fails, we could identify a customer visits your website and show a pop-up to them saying, "Hi, David, your recent payment for $49 recently failed. Here's a link to update your credit card details." Just like something like that. Uh, it's just one example, but it's infinitely there's pretty much infinite possibilities in terms of what you can do. And then like I've also like I haven't finished designing it, but you could have like add this user to this segment if they have visited. Ah, here we go. Sorry, this is what I was looking for. Um, Viewed URL has viewed checkout.html. UTM medium is Facebook, so they've come from Facebook. City is London, and you can then add like multiple filters to make this your the settings for your segment. You could do like has visited pages X times, is returning visitor. Like there would be loads of different filtering, so you can then segment your website visitors like really easily. Like here's some other ones: city, country, page views, operating system, and so on and so forth. So that's basically how far I've got with this. Again, I've completely like sidetracked myself, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I'm going to go to bed. It's now 1:40 in the morning, and I'm starting to fall asleep. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and yeah, any comments, feel free to any questions, sorry, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you.